Okay folks, in this video we will create a new scene for the shapes that are available in the game. I updated the technical design doc with diagrams showing how the shapes are laid out in square grids. Here we are. Our shapes are L, J, S, Z, T, I and C for cube. And these are the colors we want to use for each of these shapes, and they are rotated into position as they will be dropped from the top of the playing area. Also, I have put in some diagrams for local grid coordinates, and the circle represents the center of rotation for an odd numbered number of cells in a grid. We're going to have X values and Y values ranging from -1 through 0 to 1. So this cell here will have a coordinate of -1, -1, and this one will be 0, 0. And for even numbered square grids, we won't use 0. We'll have -2, -1, 1 and 2 for the values of X and Y. This allows for easy shape rotation later in our code, where we can use very simple mathematics, such as for clockwise rotation we'll have X equals -Y and Y equals X for a 90-degree clockwise rotation. And similarly for anti-clockwise rotation of 90 degrees, we will move the cells as per X equals Y and Y equals -X. We'll leave that till later when we start coding later in the series. For now, let's go and create a scene to define visually these shapes that we want. So into the editor, and we will create a new user interface scene. Let's change the topmost node to a grid container. So change the type. Have we got grid container? Yes, that one. Change it. And let's call it shapes. Our scene will be called shapes and the script will be called shapes.gd. So let's save. Control S. And it's going to be called shapes.scene. Save. Okay, so next let's start defining our shapes. They will be individual grid containers. So let's add a child node of grid container for the first shape. Okay, and let's refer to our design document, our technical design document. Let's start with the L. So let's call this grid container L, and let's start adding cells to it. So for these we will use texture rectangles. So let's add a child node of texture rectangle, create. Let's call it a cell. And we're going to have two types of cell. One will be a cell containing a tile, and another will be a blank cell. So let's just go Control D to make another cell, and rename this to blank cell. This allows us to copy them later. And the cell itself will have a texture. They'll both have a texture of this actually. Tile, because we need to take up space in the grid. So that has a tile texture, tile ping texture, and so does this. So we've got two. Now for the ones that don't show up, we're going to make them disappear by use of the visibility property and modulate it such that it has an alpha transparency. So it will still take up space in the grid but won't be seen. Okay, it's gone. So let's start defining our L. If we look at the design document again, we're going to see that we want a 3x3 grid shape. So let's make that 3x3. In other words, have 3 columns. The top row has 2 blanks and then a solid one. Then we've got 3 solids and 3 blanks. So 2, 4, 3. Let's move that to there. 2 of them, Control D to duplicate. 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move that down to there. 1, 2, 3. Now we have our 3x3 grid for the L. So what we want to do next is give the L its color. Let's go here. Check, we want orange. Let's modulate the whole lot of this shape's grid. So we click on visibility, modulate, and find orange. Don't have to be too accurate at this stage, but something like that. We can always change it later. Okay, that's our first shape. And we could just see what it's going to look like if there's more. Control D, this shape. What's the next shape called? So let's see, how many of these do we want? How should we arrange them, for example? How about the same as this? We're going to have three like columns of shapes. So let's go to the top. Let's give this 3 columns. 2, 3, and Control D. Let's have 3 shapes there, and see they're right next to each other. So it's a good idea to give the shapes some spacing. So let's go V separation and H separation of some pixels. Not sure how many. How does 20 work? Yeah, that looks good. 20 pixels to move them apart from each other. Okay, we have the L. The next shape is J and then S. So let's go call these J and S. Capital J, capital S. Capital S. And change the colors. I'm doing it strange order. Anyway, blue and green for the colors. Visibility, modulate, make it green. Make it green like that. And then blue. Visibility, blue. There we go. And let's change the shape. The second one along is J. Okay, J, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 3, I think it was, wasn't it? For that, we got 1 blank. Better check again. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, we got 1 filled. Put a cell there. 1, 2, 3. 3, yes, that's it. Perfect. So next, moving on to S. S is 1, 4, 4. 1, 4, 4, starting with a blank. 1. That's it. There's our S. Quite easy. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, moving on. We got 3 shapes done. And now 2 more that are the same rectangular size, grid size. So 2 more Z and T, red and purple. 2 more Z and T. So Control D, Z, call it Z, call that one T. Z and T. Z is going to be What kind of shape? Z is 2, 2, 2, 3, starting with filled cells. 2. Oops. Move it there. Carefully position it. 2 of those. 1, 2 of those. 2, 3. Yep, that should give us our Z. And I think it was red. Yes, it was red. So modulate the color of Z to be red. Visibility there. There's the red. And then the next one, T. T is, that's 1, 1, 1, 3. Starting with blank. 1, 1, 1. Again. 1, 1, 1. Starting with blank. T. Yes, we have our T. And T is, that is purple. Modulate its shape, background to be purple, or foreground to be purple. How do we do that? Reddish, purple. Good guess. Yeah, there we go. There's purple. And next is, after T, I think we've got a different grid shape to set up. Yes, we have the I, which is a 4x4 grid. So 4 columns for the I, and the I is the 4 tiles on the second row. So we can go Control T there, Control D rather, and this is the I, and it has 4 columns, so change that to 4 columns, and we've got 4 blank cells at the top. Move that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 4 cells on the next row. So there's 3 more blanks. Control D. 1, 2, 3. We need 4 more because there's another row. Control D. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we have a 4x4 grid for the I. And its color is turquoise. Okay, another shape. After I, we want to have C, the cube, which is a 4x4. It's at the bottom, and it's a 2x2 shape. So decrease that 2x2. It's actually the right shape. Let's leave it at that and change its color. It wants to be yellow. Modulate to yellow. It's yellow. There we are. We have our shapes in the form of a scene. The layout is not that important here. We just want to create our shapes and be able to access the data that we will produce from them. Okay, in the next video we will make use of this new scene by adding some code to it and turning it into a factory that provides shapes to the game. See you in the next video.